everyone, this is Jennifer Stave from Coloring Pages Bliss, and I am here today to share with you a color chart that I've created to swatch out all the beautiful colors of my Prismacolor Premier 150 set. And it's also a chart that you can download from my coloringpagesbliss.com website. And I also have a blank version that you can download and use for your faber-castel polychromos or even your Crayolas if you would like to, and keep track of your color pencils the same way I am going to today. Now, the reason I am going out of my way to create a chart that I like is because when you receive a set like this that's so big, there are so many different color options that come in this set, and the swatches are so tiny that they give you that it's really difficult to really know what you have. And the pencils themselves, they have colors on them. Almost every brand of pencil you get will have some sort of color on the barrel of the pencil, but whether it actually matches the color that the pencil itself produces is iffy, and most of the time some of the pencils will be true to the barrel and some of the pencils won't. And so I like to know exactly what every color in my set will produce. For instance, I have two sets of pencils here. This is the Premier 24 set, and this is the Scholar 12 set that I have purchased in the past. The 12 set was the very first set of Prismacolors I purchased. Then I upgraded to the 24, and then I just absolutely loved my Prismacolors, and I had to upgrade to the 150 set that you see below here. And so I have in the past swatched out both sets. Here's the Scholar Prismacolor set, and you can see here that the colors are quite a bit muter. It's because they have more wax and less pigment in each pencil. And then here is the Prismacolor Premier 24 set, and it came in this cute little tin here, and all it had was these tiny little swatches right here to tell me what each pencil would produce. And if you look at the colors that I actually could create here, they are a little different from what these little samples here show. And then inside this tin there was a really cool leaflet, and it gives you all their 150 colors in a nice chart here, which is really nice. But again, they're tiny little swatches, and it's really hard to know truly, you know, here's a whole bunch of blues here, and exactly what each blue will do when it's colored out, it's really hard to know. And also, you know, every color has kind of a range of what it will do. When you look at the swatches I've produced here, you can see all the different kinds of ranges in just the orange alone. You can get a very light orange all the way to a very deep orange. And so to me, swatching out your colors for your tools is very important. It tells you a lot about what your tools can do. So I spend time swatching every set of tools that comes into my art studio. Now, I looked online immediately when I received my 150 color Premier set and looked for a swatch chart that may be out there already that I could use, and I came across two swatch charts. This one was provided by Prismacolor, and I'll put a link on the description of this video for you so you can access this chart if you'd like to use it. And it's a cute little chart. They made tiny little pencils that you can color in. It has the name and the number, which I really appreciate, and then you just fill in the color for each of the pencils. But again, I like a swatch where I can show the different variations of whether you can get a light magenta all the way down to a deep magenta of each pencil. And so this chart, where it's fun and cute, it just didn't do it for me. And then I found this chart here, which, as you can see, it's based on the back of the big box here. And I'll put a link to this chart. This was done by a blogger, and it's it's a fantastic chart, and this blogger must have spent a lot of time on it. It's a beautiful chart, and it has every single color here, and even the names of the colors have been put on and color matched somewhat to what the little swatch will be. But again, the tiny little circles would just not be big enough for me for the way I like to swatch out all the different colors. And so where this was really nice, I even printed it out on my nicer paper because I was ready to use it. In the end, I decided it wasn't exactly what I wanted because I needed more space. And so I designed my own swatch chart, and here you can see I've started filling it in. And I ended up doing 2 charts. This is a double spread here, and it'll go into I have like a Bible of swatch charts of all my tools. So it'll go into my swatch chart Bible like this, and I can hold it up and look at all of them. And then I have a second swatch chart that I made here where all 150 are on one page, and it's just the number, not the name and number underneath each little swatch square. And so I'm going to make both of these charts available to you guys to download, and like I said, I'll have 2 versions, one where it's for the Prismacolor specifically with the numbers, and this one will have the numbers and the names, and then I'll have a version where you can download it and it will be blank underneath, and you can write what you want to underneath depending on whether you're using it for whatever set you have. And then everyone can make their own swatches. Now this gives you just enough space that you can do a nice shading effect here and get both the light and the darks, and you can start seeing shades and colors that you don't use very often. And it's been really fun to fill it out because I've seen colors that I haven't even touched that pencil. I can tell because the pencil is sharpened by the manufacturer and I haven't sharpened it yet, and so that means I haven't even used that pencil yet. And so when I lay the color down into its little square, I go, oh dear, this is a pencil I haven't used. I better find a little friend on this chart that it can match up with. And I'm finding all kinds of combinations that I can use. I'm going to push fast forward here and let you watch me finish filling out my swatch chart. The reason I'm going to all the trouble of making 2 charts, a single page and a double page spread, is so that I can have 2 charts handy. One that will go into my Bible of charts, where I keep all my swatch colors, so I can go and compare and find the colors that I need for a particular project. And then I'll have a separate single page chart that I can keep with my colored pencils, sort of fold it up and tuck it in there, and then wherever I end up coloring, whether it be in my studio or downstairs at my couch in front of the TV, I'll have a swatch chart there handy with me while I'm coloring and choosing colors. So that's why I'm sitting here and coloring every color twice. The other thing to keep in mind as you are making your own charts at home is what paper you choose to print your chart onto. This paper I'm using here has a bit of a tooth. It's not a super slick paper like a cardstock or a standard copy paper, and because it has a bit of a tooth to it, I'm able to get that good gradient that you're seeing, that nice shading effect. And so you may want to pick out a paper that has a bit of a tooth to it or a bit of a texture to it. And it's also a very bright white paper. I don't want any kind of pigment or color in the paper because that will change the way that the colors will appear on the paper. Now another tip is that if you are swatching out multiple sets of colored pencils, you want to make sure you use the same paper across all the sets so that when you're comparing your red in one set of colored pencils to the red of the other set, it will be a fair comparison between the 2 sets. Now another tip that you may want to keep in mind is that because the colored pencils aren't all light fast, you want to protect these charts in a book or tucked away into your case where you protect your pencils, and then the sunlight or the light from your lighting in your house, it won't fade the colors of your swatches, so that you're staying true to what your pencils will actually produce for you when you're coloring. So those are just a few little tips for you. Okay, so we have the chart all filled out, and it's colorful and beautiful. As you can see, I did have a little mistake up here where I put the wrong colors in, but I corrected it. No big deal. This is just for me. It's not going to be shown to the world. Oh wait, it just was. Oh well, you guys don't care, but as you can see, it's not the end of the world. Just fix it. And then down here I found one error I made in the chart, so I'll fix that for you guys so that the PDF that you guys download from my website will be perfect for you guys. And then the one-page chart turned out really good with all the colors looking beautiful. I laid this out according to the chart on the back of the big 150 color box, in the order that they laid out. And if it were me, I would have done it differently. Like, I like to have all my colors laid out from light to dark, just according to what my eye sees. That can get really tricky because some colors have purple in it, and does it belong in the purple family, or does it belong in the blue family, or in the pink family, and it gets a little confusing. But I just sit down and sort of choose and pick it out and put it down and enjoy the beautiful colors as I go, and just sort of make it a blissful, colorful experience as I organize my pencils. And I do my best to get it from light to dark, and then later I start putting all my colors into 3 color combinations, light, mediums, and darks, as I've talked about in other videos. So I kind of wish my chart was organized light to dark, but this is the way Prismacolor had their chart done, and so this is the way I did it here. The color of the pencil itself will hopefully give you an accurate depiction of what color you're going to get out of your pencil, but that's not always true. Let me see if I can find one where I can show you a really good example of that. Okay. Now, Prismacolor does a really good job matching their barrels to their colors for the most part, but here on this pencil we can get a good example. This is their Lavender PC934. I'm going to bring it up closer here, and you can see that the lead itself is a lot brighter in color than the actual pencil, and so this would be an important one to swatch out, because which color is it? Is it this dull color here that's almost a skin tone, at least if you look at the palm of my hand, or is it this brighter purple color that we're seeing on the tip? A good general rule with colored pencils is you can look at the tip, and that will give you a better color swatch than the barrel. So if you have a set that you're getting frustrated because the barrel is misleading you, then look at the tips, or if you've got a pencil that has an end that is open like the Prismacolors are, you can look at the bottom of the barrel, and that will give you another color swatch that you can look at. Of course, it's teeny tiny, and if you're in a sort of badly lit room or your eyes are weak, then this is going to be really hard to look at. Again, another reason to do color swatches. So don't forget to visit my website, coloringpagesbliss.com, and click on the blog. That's where I'll have a link to where you can download PDF forms of these color charts. Again, I'll have them in 2 forms. There'll be the 2-page spread, where you can do just like this and have all your colors in a 2-page spread, and then you can have them in a 1-page spread that you can tuck into your pencil case and take with you. And I'll also have them available without any numbers or names, so you can fill in your own. So if you have any Polychromos or Crayolas or any other brand, you can use the same chart for them as well. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you come back and visit me again soon, and I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, and blissful day.